Shalom Chaverim and welcome back to Israel. We are here in Tel Aviv. It is a nice Monday morning today in the city, Monday afternoon actually. I am just walking by the Yalkon River right now, or Nachal Yalkon, which connects to Park Yalkon, which is one of the biggest and largest parks in Tel Aviv. This is a beautiful puke green colored river. It's got a bunch of very funny stories about it in Israeli culture. This is the old port of Tel Aviv. We're actually walking through it right now. We're going to be arriving at the old port and then giving you guys a tour of the best beaches in the Mediterranean today, which exist here in Tel Aviv. We're going to be walking across literally the entirety of Tel Aviv's beach. So let's hit it. I got a few minutes walk here till I make it to the beachfront, but it's going to be awesome once I arrive. So I'm going to be working my way through the city slowly. We have a wonderful McDonald's sign, some accommodation here, the Spot Hostel. Can't vouch for it, I've never been here before, but looks like a great place. There's like a little alleyway here, very cool stuff. We're gonna make it over to the beach very soon. So here we are at the entrance of the old port area, or one of the many ways to get in. You can see there's sort of this outlet strip mall here with famous clothing brands from around the world. You've got Columbia, Skechers, Birkenstock, Castro, which is I think an Israeli brand. I don't really remember if it's a European thing or an Israeli one, but you know, you make it out here to the beach. There's a few skate parks here, and we're gonna come over to the seawall and I'll show you guys the ocean very soon. Here we are making it over to the ocean and the seawall. There's a nice wooden boardwalk here that extends all the way down, and it is a little windy today. Beautiful day on the Mediterranean nonetheless. I don't think you're really supposed to be swimming here in the winter. I've seen this really crazy where you don't want to enter the water and it's just shooting over the edge like it is right now, but it's beautiful nonetheless. Just a wonderful place to walk around, and especially when it's busy here, it's really fun. So today we are going to literally be walking across Tel Aviv just via the coast. We're going to be walking from the north to the south. We're walking from the old port to another old port. We're starting here with the old port of Tel Aviv, and we're going to be walking down to Jaffa, to ancient Jaffa, which is sort of the ancient part of Tel Aviv city. It's the oldest part of Tel Aviv, and as you can see, what we're going to be doing is walking across the beaches. So we're starting here on the port. Nice wave just hit. We're going to shortly be making it onto the beach, and I'm going to be showing you guys every single beach going along the coast here, every single one all the way down, so you guys get a really good understanding of what the beaches in Tel Aviv actually look like. So here is a sign signifying the entrance or the exit, depending on when you're leaving, of the port of Tel Aviv. It says here Anamal shel Tel Aviv, which means the port of Tel Aviv. And here you've got the ocean view. So a lot of these beaches in Tel Aviv will have a lifeguard tower on them. It's very important because actually the Mediterranean Sea can be quite dangerous. There's lots of people who drown and die every year in the beaches across Israel, and so lifeguards are taken pretty seriously here. Something that I want to show you guys today is lifeguard culture in the beach, because lifeguards are just super aggressive and yell a lot at people in the water, and it's a funny sort of joke that a lot of Israelis have in their life. But again, this is the first beach that we're going to be walking across. This one's called Metzitzim Beach, or Jaffa Metzitzim. Really nice place. You've always got, in most of the beaches here, places to rent chairs and umbrellas. You usually got some shops. Here you have a playground, water fountains, bathrooms, whatever you really need, it's all here. So you can see here it says, welcome to a public authorized swimming zone. It's going to say it always in English, Arabic, and Hebrew to be open for everybody to understand. And again, you've got a children's playground here. You've got authorized swimming areas that they're going to show you, like a sign back there that says where you can and can't swim. Here, interestingly enough, you even have a book exchange. If you're looking to rent a book, or sorry, not rent a book, but exchange books with other people, you've got a freaking library on the beach. This is what I love about Israel. It's so innovative, so many cool things here, like this. So here's a little sign for you to see from the city. This is a fixed price list of the prices of the things that you can rent when you're here on the beach in English and in Hebrew. And it shows you the name of the beach we're actually on. And again, the beach right here with quite a lot of people. This is a summer break, so obviously kids are out of school and people are not working as much right now, but still as not crowded as beaches get in Israel, especially in Tel Aviv. They get quite crowded. So you'll see that across all the beaches that we visit today, this is one of the many that we're going to be visiting. You've got that blue flag beach, or in Hebrew, Degel Kachol. signified by a blue flag. And you'll have a sign here with information about this beach. What you can look for, the animals that you can see, all kinds of things that you can read about and understand what this beach is and what you're visiting. So I can say this is sort of where the official promenade of the beach starts in Tel Aviv. Over there, that big hotel, it says in Hebrew on the top, Hilton, which is Hilton Hotel. So you can actually tell that's one of the older hotels in the recent decades of construction and development of Tel Aviv. And you can see it starts here with a bike path. You can walk all across, going all the way down. At this point, we're pretty much on the promenade that we're going to be walking through all the way down to Jaffa. And something that I do want to note out is, you know, a lot of the Israeli coastline that you see in pictures and magazines or whatever, you'll see a very flat beach, a very beautiful sort of island type beach. But actually a lot of the coasts in Israel look exactly like this. There's these big cliffs sort of hanging across the beaches. If we go north from here to the city of Netanya and onwards from there, a lot of the beaches have these big sandy dune cliffs right next to them. Also along this side, it's closed with a wall showing pictures, old pictures of Israel and Tel Aviv, what they used to look like back in the day, which is also cool. But it makes for a really beautiful walk across the city. And this is a great way to get some exercise, but also if you're a tourist in town and you really want to get a gauge of what the beaches and beach life looks like in the city, this is a great way to do it. And I know it's not very exciting right now because there's a wall on the right of us, but in a second we're going to be led out onto the beach, which is going to be Hilton's Beach, and you'll be able to see the beautifulness that is Tel Aviv's beach. All right, so here's where the fun begins. The seawall behind us officially ended, and we're led out to, I don't think this is Hilton Beach yet officially. I think it starts right over there. But you'll see once we get onto that part of the beach, we're actually going to be walking across the sand all the way down. The beaches come out in little bays, so they're cut out, and they've got jetties with rocks on them to make the water a little bit more stable, less wavy for people and beachgoers to enjoy. So that's how a lot of the beaches are. You're usually going to find surfboard rentals, umbrellas, all that jazz like I told you guys earlier. And each beach is signified by its own attractions. So I'll show you each one. And as we get deeper into the city, you'll also find restaurants and stuff, which is great. So here's to show you guys again the technology, the innovation. You've got a pay machine here for beach equipment where you can pay with your credit card or whatever you want. You can tap to pay. You've got surfboard rental right here. So this is signified again as the authorized public swimming zone. We're officially going to be walking out to the beach right now. Here we are. We've made it. This is also something I don't talk about enough in my videos, but I should be. Here, you've actually got beach access for persons with disabilities. So if you're thinking about visiting one of Tel Aviv's beaches, or Israel in general, you do have access in most of these beaches for people with disabilities all the way down to the coast. And of course, we've got another sign here showing you that this is a blue flag beach, signifying it's like an official beach of the city. And here you go, one of the many restaurants and dining areas you have across the beaches of Tel Aviv. This is the Hilton Bay. So another one, like I mentioned, you've got a jetty and a jetty. There you've got a little bit of a pier, and we'll walk through that in a minute, but nice calm beach caused by that jetty, so people can just enjoy. As I mentioned earlier, while this isn't a private beach for the Hilton Hotel, it is right under it. So when you stay in this hotel, you come right under and get your pristine beach access, just like this. And it is beautiful. It's also a beautiful summer day here. The summers in Tel Aviv are incredible, full of sun, not a cloud in the sky, very hot, but really fun nonetheless. So also, the more time you spend in Tel Aviv, the more you'll realize that the city is full of, let's say, exercise and healthy living. A lot of people are very fit here and all about exercising and living a healthy lifestyle. Back there you can see surfers surfing. Now while the swell is not very big in the summer here, it doesn't ever get really big in Israel. People do surf throughout the year, and especially in the winter it's a lot better, significantly better than the summer. I learned how to surf, the basics of surfing, here in Israel actually, on one of the many beaches of Tel Aviv, just a little further south of here. So you'll see people in the water here that are surfing, because it's a really great place to learn the basics of surfing, because you get these consistent, very small waves all across the beaches here. You'll see there people are taking their first sort of waves on the whitewash. It's a great place to learn, and tons of really experienced surf teachers as well, and really good attitude and etiquette towards surfing with beginners. So you go, you can see the surfers in the water. There's some stand-up paddle boards there, and nice, very small waves for people to be able to catch. There you go. You got someone standing, taking a wave. Beautiful stuff. Knee-high waves, but great for beginners to learn how to surf. So we're coming up the promenade again now, off the beach, because the jetty blocks you off over there. I mean, I think you can get over it, but there's no point. No point in finding it because there's a little pier there with boats. You can see we're back on the other side of the Hilton Hotel now. And, sorry, I had to go up a little bit of a hill, and it's hard walking through the sand. It's also very hot today. We're gonna keep walking across the Tayelet, which is the promenade of Tel Aviv's beach right now, and we'll take you off to our next major beach, which I believe is Chof Goldon, or Goldon Beach. What I love about Israel, again, we've talked about this in videos, is all that green, you know, investing in plants everywhere, lots of trees. I love it. So even here along the beach, along the promenade, you get the big hotels, but you've also got a lot of green they've invested in. So when we come along here, before we make it to the next beach, we have the boat pier, where you're gonna have a lot of boats parked up. Here you go. It's a little look for you. You've got tons of private boats. You've got kids learning how to sail. Really wonderful place. Very quiet, very pristine. You got some restaurants. You've even got a public pool here on the side, which I don't know if it's reserved for Tel Aviv residents or not. I'm assuming it's not, because I'm sure there's tourists who go here, but you do have a private pool right next to the pier as well, if you're not looking to beach. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to, because Mediterranean is pretty much a pool. Anyways, one thing I can also really recommend to learn how to do when you're in Tel Aviv is learn how to sail. One of my first sponsorships on this channel, which I talked about in a previous video, if you want to go watch from the vlogs in 2017, I learned how to sail down in Jaffa port with this awesome company named Sailor. They do like yacht trips and sailing boat trips, and they taught me how to sail for free, doing YouTube content for them, which is really awesome. And it happened all in this ocean here. We even saw a dolphin on one of our trips. It was really amazing. So this is a great place to learn how to do that, because the ocean, especially in the summer, is relatively relaxed. It's not too intense. And here's the ticketing for the pool. Looks like it costs about 59 shekels for the day, 60 shekels for the day. And you've got a public pool access right here. Anybody can go to. You just have to pay for it. The Goldon Pool. And here we are at one of Tel Aviv's, I would say, most popular beaches. This is Chof Goldon, or Goldon Beach. It opens up here. It's very expansive. It's very large. That's why it is one of the most popular as well. You've got lifeguards across the entire beach. So let's walk on down and show you guys how wonderful it actually is. And here you've got tons of hotels. I believe this is Harrods, I think. Sheraton down there, Orchid Tel Aviv. You've got so many different hotel chains here. Some are new, some are old, but tons of options, especially when it comes to accommodation. Some more luxury than others as well. What is that? Another Tel Aviv beach with surfboards to rent and paddle boards? Are you kidding me? What a surprise. It's wonderful. You've got this across the entire beach, the whole way through. You've got a lovely man with a Brazilian flag. And yeah, you've got tons of beginner surfers out here as well, learning how to surf. I don't really know what the significance, to be honest with you guys, is for the Brazilian flag here. I don't know why it's there. It's interesting, alongside the Israeli flag, but yeah. So you can see again those man-made jetties there going along the beach. You've got the water, and it sort of comes in and out and in and out away, all the way down to Jaffa. In a moment, we're gonna have a really nice unobstructed view of Jaffa, so I'll be to show you guys where we're going to later as well. Okay, so these two gentlemen have they've agreed to be my models here. They're playing what Israelis call matkot. You're gonna see this all across Tel Aviv. It's like a paddle ball. And a serious word of caution when you're walking along the beaches of Tel Aviv here. There are people across the entire beach playing matkot, and they're sometimes playing very aggressively. You will get hit in the head with a ball if you don't watch out. I promise you that. It will happen to you. So keep an eye out, and let's try to count how many people playing matkot we see today, because there's already a lot just in my periphery vision. I will remind you at this point that this is a Monday afternoon. It is summer break, but it's still a Monday afternoon, just to understand how many people are out here on the beach. And this is not even, I would say, even 15% of how busy it actually gets. This is relatively calm for what it can be. So here's one of the many lifeguard towers across Tel Aviv's beaches, signified by this. You got the lifeguard sitting there on the little balcony. You got a clock, so you can keep track of the time unless you didn't bring your watch here. And they are strewn around most of the beaches in Tel Aviv. It tells you the days of, or the hours you can bathe in, where you'll be guarded by the lifeguard. And we're slowly working our way across the beach. And take a moment here just to appreciate the view, look around. See how many people are bathing in the water, enjoying. See the lifeguards up there, the hotels. Super nice. Beautiful day. Also, you can see the water is just very shallow, and it stays pretty shallow further out you go. You can see even all the way out there, it's kind of like a sandbar. It doesn't really get that much deeper, but wonderful experience overall being here on the beach. And you've got these marked off areas not to swim in. Usually these are marked for rip currents or whirlpools, which, as I mentioned earlier, do happen here on the beaches. And what I was saying, all the way back there, if you see that big tower, it's not really that big, but that tower, that's Jaffa, Tel Aviv. That would be the sort of end of the city, and that's kind of where we're walking to. We're not going to walk all the way to the end of it, but that's pretty much where we're walking to. As I was signifying earlier, we're going to be walking from the old port to the ancient port, which is back there. So you're walking across all the way from one port to another, and that signifies an entire walk across Tel Aviv's beach. That hotel over there, the rainbow one, is called Dan Panorama Tel Aviv. It is also one of the older in the new parts of the city, but one of the older, more established hotels. It's very expensive, but it's got great like oceanside views, obviously, across the whole hotel. It's very, very well known with tourists. It's been a very popular hotel for so many years. And if you guys were wondering, by the way, how long this walk actually takes, what I'm doing right now, it's about an hour, depending on how many stops you make. If you're stopping to eat, to get a snack or whatever, it might take you 2 hours. If you're stopping to take a swim, it might take you 3. Depends how long you're going for, but if you're walking in one go from the old port to Jaffa, it's about 1 hour-ish. So signified by this new lifeguard tower and the name that says on it, it says in Hebrew Frishman, which is Frishman Beach. That's where we are now, called Frishman. It's another one of those beaches. It's actually connected via the sand to Goldon. There's no jetty that you need to walk on or concrete that you need to walk on. It's all connected in one place. So you can see the Dan Panorama Hotel sits right in front of Frishman Beach, and of course gives you access directly to the ocean when you stay there. So here again is a nice beautiful view of Frishman Beach for you guys. You can see all the hotels around, the Dan Panorama, which is that very popular hotel. And then here you can see a lot of those prohibited swimming signs, because it is, I think you could already see that the ocean current here is a little messed up. It's not somewhere I'd recommend swimming. See, the waves are coming in different directions. Black flag in Israel on the beach means it's dangerous to swim, so they don't recommend. And you see people actually follow these orders. They don't want to risk their lives. You got people on the right swimming, all where it's closed off, no one's swimming, and then tons of people down the coast over there as well. We've got another lifeguard tower with another name, this time Bugrashov, and another beach. That means a new beach you just unlocked here in Tel Aviv. Admittedly, this beach is a little bit smaller than Frishman. It's all connected still on the same coastline. None of it is actually divided up, so you don't have to walk anywhere. You can keep walking across the whole beach. So that's Bugrashov Beach. You've got your designated swimming areas here, and we'll be working into our another beach now. It gets a little quieter here because what happens is the beaches up there, they tend to have a lot more amenities. So more umbrellas, more chairs, generally more places to eat and drink, so it attracts a lot of the tourists. But if you want a bit of the quieter side of the beach, you go to these areas where you can't really even swim because it's blacked off with a black flag. But I'll show you guys here the jetty signifying the other beach that we're walking into now. So here is the entrance to the jetty. We're out here. Here's your nice jetty right here. And this little bit of stretch line of coastline is, I've actually had to bring up my phone at this point because I don't remember the names by heart. This is Trumpeldor Beach. So it's another wonderful beach here on the coastline of Tel Aviv that you can check out. And you can see that there's a little bit more action in the water here. There's a little bit more waves, a little bit more people hanging out here, but still relatively quiet compared to the other beaches up north in the beach. You've got a funny supermarket in America. You do have the US Embassy, which I'm not actually allowed to film. I've gotten flack for that before, which I do believe is that building. But you're not supposed to come up close to it and film it, otherwise I would have. But yeah, you've got plenty of swimming access here and even more hotels all the way down, going along the entire beach. So Trumpeldor Beach, very big beach, and you can see sort of the curve of the bay here, giving you tons of beach access in one solidified beach. So if you see this building over here, this is also known as Hebrew as Binyan Opera, or the Opera Building. And that's what we called it as kids. I don't really remember if that's exactly what it's called. But this building has a mall in the downstairs area of it. It's got a shopping center, some shops, some restaurants. So it's actually a nice building to check out. And I heard that it was recently renovated. Maybe my information is wrong, I don't remember, to be fair. I should go inside and check it out for you guys, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. We might do that in a future video, but that building is definitely one worth checking out when you're here in the city. And a beautiful view from inside of the beach. A little bit quieter down here. I think this general area is just known as Tel Aviv Beach on Google Maps, but I'm not really sure if it's still just Bugrashov. But where we're coming up to is Chof Yerushalayim, or Jerusalem Beach, which is signified by that lifeguard tower down there. This is something good to note when you're in Israel and Tel Aviv for the summer. Jellyfish do come out here in droves, like actually lots of jellyfish, and they do sting. I was surfing yesterday on the beach. You can see my arm is full of stings here, and you will see tons of these jellyfish. They're usually pink and blue. None of the jellyfish species in Israel, to my knowledge, are extremely dangerous, not by any means, but they do come out in droves. And usually within the summer, there's going to be like a big migrational season where a lot of them come out, and there'll just be thousands of them. Sometimes there'll be thousands and washed up on the beach, sometimes in the water. So it's something you definitely want to be prepared of. Israel does experience an influx of jellyfish during the summer season, and it kind of sucks when you get stung. Okay, we got here Chof Yerushalayim. Chof Yerushalayim, or Jerusalem Beach, is connected to Banana Beach, which in my opinion is probably one of the better beaches in Israel, in Tel Aviv. It's just full of life and lots of cool people. A lot of young people come out there. There's some cool restaurants and stuff. So we're gonna head out and show you both of these beaches, but what we're walking on right now is called Jerusalem Beach. So a good look for you guys again. This is Chof Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Beach. It's nice. You've got some restaurants back here. You've got a boutique hostel over there. Tons of big hotels and buildings along the whole strip, coming all the way down. We're coming pretty close to the end. We're almost done with the proper beachfront of Tel Aviv, because after that it'll be the seawall till Jaffa. You can see this is sort of the last bit of solid sandy beach across Tel Aviv that we're at right now. And some other things to note that I forgot to note as we're doing this video is what's different between Tel Aviv's beach and a lot of other beaches in the world, especially for somebody who, like me, who was born and raised in Florida. Our beaches there on the east coast of Florida are usually made up of this gritty, rocky sand. Here in Israel, in Tel Aviv, a lot of the beaches are made up of this just powdery white sand, like almost like desert sand. Just very beautiful, very nice to walk on, compacts really easily when it's wet, so it's easy to walk on over there. A little bit hard to walk on here, but generally just a beautiful beach going experience, because the sand is just so nice. You know, it's not something that's hard to get off your skin, and because there's ample washing stations all across the beach here, it's really easy. If you're renting an apartment, or if you're, you know, staying in your own place here, staying at a family's house, you come to the beach, you just take a shower on the beach before you leave, and you're all nice and clean before you go up to your accommodation. So this is where the Banana Beach area begins, and like you can see, there's not really much swimming here. What I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest with you guys, is if this is always like this with the black flags here. I'm not 100% certain, but there are tons of people swimming just a little bit further down. And I wasn't joking about the matkot, by the way. Israelis take that shit very seriously. Everyone's playing all the time. But you can see, yeah, the Banana Beach is just awesome. It's you've got that good mix of restaurants. You've got the good mix of amenities that you can rent people when it's not too busy, and then also swimming areas. It makes it my favorite area because it's not too crazy. Sometimes it does get crazy. Sometimes it will get super busy here, but overall, Banana Beach is, in my opinion, one of the best in Tel Aviv. Okay, what I was talking about earlier, which I'm really happy to be able to show you guys, because here it's a little bit more crowded. Lifeguards in Israel yelling at people on the water. It's a hilarious joke, and you're gonna probably hear it. I'm gonna stand here by the lifeguard tower a little bit to see if I can record some of it, but it's hilarious, especially when they individually call people out of the water. It's all in Hebrew, so it's harder to understand, but it's very funny if you can understand it. And I will make a note to say, definitely take the lifeguard seriously when you come here. Don't play jokes with them, because these are people who are usually veterans from the army. They know how to save your life. They know what they're doing. They're here for your protection, so don't joke with them. But the experience of hearing them call out people, it's hilarious in ways I can't even explain to you. It's just so funny. You can see all the kids coming in with their surfboards here. I was mentioning the other day on the video, I know I've repeated myself so many times, but I don't know who's gonna watch what videos. This surf school that these kids are going surfing with is the same surf school that I actually learned to surf with. And the first time I was ever on a surfboard in my life was right here in this spot. And I fell in love with surfing like pretty much right here. You know, being able to do it in Siargao in the Philippines for the last 2 years, when I was living on that island and now building a house on a place that has to do with surfing, it all started for me right here on this spot, which is really exciting because I can see a bunch of people, probably beginners at surfing, starting their sort of adventure with surfing right now, and that's really awesome. Because again, like I said, it's so easy and so nice to practice and learn when the waves are this small and easy to ride. And when you have really great surf teachers here teaching you how to do it, it makes for a really great experience. You've got restaurants down here as well, but this is pretty much the end of the beach of Tel Aviv. We're gonna go up on the jetty right now, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see the Israeli flag down there here on the last jetty, signifying the end of the main beaches of Tel Aviv. Everything past this jetty going up is sort of a mishmash of not so easy to access beaches and then seawalls and parks, and I'll show you guys that right now. So again, that's why I sort of classify this as the end of the main beach areas. And you've got signs obviously warning you of the waves and stuff you got to be careful of in the winter for sure. Try to get up here without falling on my ass. So there's a great view for you right there. You can see all of it, all the different hotels, and then all the way to the beginning where we started our walk from. If you can see on the camera, you probably can't see it that well. There's a little bit of a hill down there. That's where we began our adventure today. We walked all the way down the coastline through the various jetties, each one of these jetties signifying a different beach, and finally arriving right here, the last jetty that sort of separates the beaches from Jaffa and whatever the rest of this area is. This part of Tel Aviv also has a really beautiful walking path taking you all the way down to Jaffa, and I'm going to go up in this ledge right now to show you guys just the exact makeup so you really understand what we're looking at. Even though I've said it a few times already, I just want to make sure it's crystal clear. So if anybody who's watching this and you're looking for sort of a virtual tour of Tel Aviv, especially the beach part, and you want to understand where I've been the whole day, what I've been walking on, you can really understand it. This is a great site for you to see sort of the divider between these two areas. So again, the main beaches of Tel Aviv, the tourist area, the Tayelet, the walkway extends all the way down there. But Tel Aviv is stretched out across all of what we're looking at right now. Everything that's behind me is also part of the city. The further down we go here, it gets a little bit less populated with hotels, more residential for a brief period of time, and then it pops back up to be Jaffa, the ancient city of Tel Aviv. This is the ancient port city and what sort of Tel Aviv was before it became a modern city, sort of the modern financial capital of Israel in the modern age. So going down here, there's not much of a beach. There are some surf spots here, so if you're a surfer and you're looking, you can surf down here. But there's little bits, like little ridges of beach that open up a little bit closer to Jaffa. I'm not going to go down there right now because we've already done this in a previous video and I want to dedicate a whole video to Jaffa. But you do have these little patches of beach that open up there where you can swim in. It's not somewhere I've actually swam myself, but the predominant demographic that are there are the Israeli Arabs that live in Jaffa. For some reason, I don't know why, a lot of the tourists go here. Not a lot of the tourists go down here. So if you're looking for more of a local experience, you want to hang out with Israeli Arabs, which are the predominant demographic that hang out down here, it's a great place to go. You want to make some friends from that sort of sector of Israeli society. A lot of them hang out down there. But obviously in the park, everyone hangs out. Everyone's swimming, or everyone's hanging out, everyone's working out, everyone's enjoying life down here. It's overall just a great place to hang out. There's lots of greenery, really beautiful places, and I've mentioned this in a video in the past as well, but everything that's up this wall right here used to be called the Dolphinarium, which used to be a dolphin habitat or a dolphin zoo. Then it turned into a nightclub, which suffered a pretty horrific terrorist attack. I think this was in the 80s, but don't quote me on it. My history of this is a little rough, and I'm not meaning to do a disservice about it. I'll definitely give you guys updated information if we ever do a sort of travel guide about this again. And then it opened up as another club, which was called Clara. I actually used to go clubbing there when I used to come to Israel when I was a little bit younger. And now it's closed down, and I guess they're building something new. I mean, it's a great prime area of real estate, so there's no wonder they're probably building and establishing some new beautiful facilities out here. But again, this area, it gets crowded, but never too crowded. It's nice and quiet a lot of the times, and you can really come here and take a walk with this beautiful view. I mean, seriously, in the winter, when the waves are large, this place is phenomenal. It's mind-blowing how beautiful it actually is. And in the summer, it's no different. It's gorgeous as well. But yeah, you've got a beautiful view of Tel Aviv, Israel's biggest city. I also want to know, just look at how much green is here. You know, like these parks are really well maintained. There's circles here for people to hang out. So that tower right there, That is sort of the Wailing Tower in the mosque. It's called the Hassan Bek Mosque. It's one of the most ancient mosques in Tel Aviv. And you can see just this beautiful dichotomy of new buildings, older buildings, then ancient buildings, you know, made out of that, you know, that's the core rock, that sea rock, the Tel Aviv stone, that Israel stone, I don't know what it's called, Jerusalem stone, I'm not even sure. And that's what predominantly the areas of Jaffa down there are made up of. Now I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see this old ancient city by the beach. It's made up of this mix of green and old ancient rocks. And that's what this beautiful mosque is made up as well of. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. If you ask me, I did a pretty wonderful job showing you guys the beaches of Tel Aviv today. I am hungry as hell. So let's go grab a bite of food because there's so many good places to eat in Tel Aviv. Shall we? I'm going to show you guys another sort of classic Israeli experience. I want to show you guys what a pizzutzia is. It's basically our version, Israeli version of a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven. But we have less branch ones and more just like locally owned ones. Like this. You'll see them have a wide variety of things. And I'm coming in here to hopefully find a really special juice I want to show you. All right, here it is. Island. This says island in Hebrew. Mashke shel Chofei Sinai, which means the drink of beaches of Sinai, like the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. It's got no preservatives, and it is an insanely concentrated sweet mango juice. This, my friends, is the best mango juice that exists on planet Earth. I kid you not. I'm yet, by the way, to be able to find this juice anywhere in the world, and if they're ever interested in sponsoring, I'm definitely going to send them this video. I'm your biggest fan ever. This is the best mango juice in the world. My God, it's so good. The only way to explain the texture is it's very thick. It's like a syrup almost, like a syrupy mango drink, and it's cold and refreshing. It's so sweet, but my God. It's so yummy. Island mango drink. When you come to Israel, I kid you guys not, you have to try this. It's so good. Another typical Israeli experience I wanted to show you guys. It's a hot day here, so I can justify drinking all this garbage. This is Barad Navim. It's also known as like a, I don't know, it's like a freeze, like a, I mean, they have them in the movie theaters in America. I don't remember what they're called. It's like a Slurpee. But they have them in every convenience store in Israel pretty much, and it's amazing. It's this shaved ice, you know, really liquidy ice. And it's Israeli grape juice flavored. Israeli grape juice doesn't taste like any other grape juice in the world. Don't know how to explain it. It's by far the best grape juice I've ever had in my life. I've never been able to find or replicate the flavor of Israeli grape juice, and this tastes exactly like it. So good. So good. I love this so much. All right, so I promised it was food time, and it is food time. We've come to a restaurant called I should establish who's we. This is my good friend Jonathan. Actually, one of my first friends on planet Earth. Very old childhood friend. We've been friends since what, 5?
5, 6
elementary school. We go way back from Miami, and he's been living in Israel for what, the past year now, no?
Last year, yeah.
How's the experience been living in this crazy country?
It's been interesting. Been living in a desert town called Beersheba, but it's been an interesting experience.
You're great on camera.
Yeah?
I have to say, you didn't stutter or anything. That was great. So we came to a place called Nunu, Dirty Dining, and my friend Moshe told me about this place yesterday. They make challah bread sandwiches, like challah from Shabbat, like Kiddush, very Jewish bread, this sort of like braided bread, and they shove it with a bunch of interesting things. I got a sandwich with mac and cheese. You got one with what?
Beef brisket or something?
Beef brisket, like pulled beef.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for this, and they have San Miguel beer, which is a really awesome beer from Spain. So I'm very excited to try this out. Let's dig in. Oh my God, look at this sandwich, guys. So I don't really know if I could say this is challah bread. It looks like challah bread. It looks like a French toast.
No, it's challah bread for sure.
It is challah bread, right? Look at that.
It's a slice that's been cut up, or cut down the middle, kind of like a pita.
The fries are impeccable. We just had a bite of the fries. They're amazing. This sandwich, this is, this thing is dirty dining, 100%. This is dirty. Look at that pickle on there. Look at that slow-cooked beef on top. My God, that looks good. I can only imagine what the mac and cheese one is going to look like. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Unbelievable.
I think mine's better.
I think yours is definitely going to be more filling, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But taste-wise, I mean, I'm obsessed with mac and cheese. You were saying you're not a big mac and cheese guy. So, this is exciting. All right. Ready, Jonathan?
All right, I guess we're doing this.
We're going to dig in. Here are our insane challah sandwiches from Nunu. Cheers. Mine's
for sure better than yours.
I don't know. This is
100%.
fantastic. Oh my god, it's so good. I've never had mac and cheese shoved into bread before. It's so good. What an amazing concept. How's yours? Really good? Like next level?
It's kind of like a Shabbat dinner stuffed into a sandwich.
Okay, I like it. Because
Got some brisket.
Jews on Shabbat will make brisket and shoving that into challah. Look at that fry too. This is really good. This is like mama's fries, you know, like really good. Wow.
Crisp pickle.
Are there many spices and stuff on your sandwich? Like, does it feel very like well
it's
seasoned?
definitely the deep flavor.
Yeah.
Want to try it?
Yeah, I do. You want to try this one?
Sure.
Here you go, brother.
Ooh.
Yeah, you won. You won.
This is good, but I definitely won.
You won. Wow. That is insane.
This was really creamy, like a really good way. If I was drunk, this is what I would want.
If you're drunk, I don't think you want this one because this will make you throw up.
Nah, that one's still pretty good, but this one would hit the spot if you're drunk.
Oh my god. This is literally drunk food. It's like, hey, what can I do at 3 a.m. when I'm drunk? Let me shove mac and cheese into bread. But wow, yours with the beef brisket is amazing. The beef is like a little sweet. You definitely see it's been slow cooked. Very soft. But this one is fantastic. I think I won. Jonathan?
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Wash it down with some Estrella, San Miguel beer.
Good beer too.
Fun fact for you guys, especially because there's a lot of Filipinos probably watching. This is the same company that started San Miguel in the Philippines, but they branched off once they made it to the Philippines. When the Philippines was occupied by Spain, this company came to the Philippines, established themselves in Cebu, and opened up their own company. But now it's it's distributed in Israel. This is all in Hebrew too, and it's kosher. It's even kosher. That's awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing another day here in the city of Tel Aviv. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications and become a member of the channel if you want. You can join and unlock cool perks when you interact with the Traveling Clat. And I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys a long time. Goodbye.